Hey everyone, and welcome back to Your Brain Lied, the podcast where we unpack the sneaky ways our minds can play tricks on us and how to navigate the real world with a little more clarity. Today, we're diving into something I see a lot in my practice, especially with folks in their late 20s and 30s. That feeling of being lost, even when you were the smart kid growing up. You know the type. Straight A's, teachers loved you, maybe you aced every standardized test. Everyone said you were going places, and maybe you did go to a good college, landed a decent job. But now you're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. wondering, is this it? You feel unfulfilled, maybe even a little resentful. Your brain told you that being smart was the golden ticket, the guaranteed path to happiness and success. And right now, your brain feels like it lied. So, what happened? Why is smart kid syndrome so common? And why does it often lead to this feeling of disillusionment later in life? Well, let's break it down. First, let's talk about what smart even means in that childhood context. It usually means you're good at school. You're good at memorizing information, following instructions, and regurgitating facts. These are valuable skills, no doubt, but they're not the only skills that matter in life. Think of it like this. School is like a carefully designed obstacle course. There are clear rules, defined paths, and obvious goals. The smart kid excels at navigating this course because they're quick learners and good at adapting to the specific demands of the environment. But the real world? The real world is more like an open field. There are no predefined paths, no clear instructions, and the goals are often blurry and subjective. It's up to you to figure out where to go, how to get there, and even what there means in the first place. This is where the smart kid can stumble. They're used to external validation, to being told they're doing a good job. But in the real world, validation is often scarce, and you have to learn to provide it for yourself. They're used to clear-cut answers, but the real world is full of ambiguity and nuance. They're used to playing by the rules, but sometimes the rules are unfair, outdated, or just plain don't exist. Another factor is the pressure. When you're labeled smart early on, it comes with expectations. Expectations from your parents, your teachers, even yourself. You feel like you have to live up to this image, to constantly perform at a high level. This can lead to a fear of failure, a reluctance to take risks, and a tendency to stick to what you know you're good at. Imagine Sarah. Sarah was the quintessential smart kid, valedictorian, Ivy League grad, landed a prestigious job in finance. Everyone expected her to climb the corporate ladder and become a CEO. But Sarah secretly hates finance. She's good at it, sure, but it doesn't light her up. She's always been passionate about art, but she's afraid to pursue it because it feels like a waste of her potential. She's trapped in a life that looks successful from the outside, but feels deeply unsatisfying on the inside. Sarah's story is a common one. The pressure to live up to the smart kid label can stifle your creativity, your individuality, and your ability to explore different paths. It can lead you to make choices based on what you should do, rather than what you want to do. And then there's the issue of identity. For many smart kids, their intelligence becomes a core part of their identity. It's how they see themselves and how they believe others see them. But what happens when that identity is threatened? What happens when you encounter challenges that your intelligence alone can't solve? What happens when you realize that being smart isn't enough? Let's say Mark is a software engineer. He was always a coding whiz, the guy everyone went to for help. But now he's working on a complex project with a team of equally talented engineers. He's no longer the smartest person in the room, and he's struggling to adapt. He's used to being the expert, but now he has to collaborate, to learn from others, to admit that he doesn't know everything. This is a challenge to his identity, to his sense of self-worth. He starts to doubt his abilities, to feel like an imposter. This identity crisis is a common experience for former smart kids. They're used to being praised for their intelligence, but now they have to find other sources of validation and self-esteem. They have to learn to see themselves as more than just their IQ score. So, what can you do if you're feeling lost and disillusioned, even though you were the smart kid? How do you break free from the expectations and pressures that have been weighing you down? How do you redefine success on your own terms? First, it's important to acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel lost, confused, or even angry. You're not alone. Many people who were labeled smart as children go through similar experiences. Don't dismiss your feelings or tell yourself you're being ungrateful. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment. Next, challenge your assumptions about success. What does success really mean to you? Is it a high-paying job? A fancy title? A big house? Or is it something more personal, more meaningful? Is it about making a difference in the world? Pursuing your passions? Building strong relationships? Take some time to reflect on your values. What's truly important to you? What do you care about? What kind of life do you want to live? Once you have a clearer understanding of your values, you can start to align your choices with them. Think about it this way. Growing up, you were given a map to success. But now you realize that map isn't leading you where you want to go. It's time to draw your own map. It's time to define success on your own terms. This might involve taking risks, stepping outside your comfort zone, and trying new things. It might involve changing careers, going back to school, or starting your own business. It might involve saying no to things that don't align with your values and saying yes to things that excite you. It's also crucial to cultivate self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. Remember that everyone struggles, everyone feels lost sometimes. Don't beat yourself up for not living up to some arbitrary standard of success. Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate your small victories and learn from your failures. And finally, remember that intelligence is just one tool in your toolbox. It's a valuable tool, no doubt, but it's not the only one. You also have creativity, empathy, resilience, and a whole host of other skills and qualities that can help you navigate the world. Let's imagine another scenario. David was the smart kid who went into law. He makes good money, but dreads going to work every single day. He feels like he's betraying himself by doing something that doesn't truly resonate with him. He's scared to make a change because he's afraid of what people will think, afraid of failing, afraid of losing the security of his current job. David needs to understand that his worth isn't tied to his job title or his salary. He needs to explore other options, even if it's just on the side at first. Maybe he can take a class in something he's always been interested in, or volunteer for a cause he cares about. The point is to start taking small steps towards a life that feels more authentic and fulfilling. It's okay if he doesn't have all the answers right now. The journey of self-discovery is a process, not a destination. The key takeaway here is that your potential is not limited by what you were good at as a child. Being smart is a great starting point, but it's not the whole story. You have the power to redefine yourself, enough to create a life that's aligned with your values, and to find fulfillment in unexpected places. Don't let the expectations of others or the expectations you've placed on yourself hold you back from pursuing your dreams. And that, my friends, is how we rewrite the script our brains may have been feeding us. It's about recognizing the limitations of our past definitions of success and opening ourselves up to new possibilities. It's about embracing the ambiguity of the real world and finding our own unique path. So as you go about your week, I want you to reflect on these questions. First, what is one expectation you have for yourself that might be holding you back? Where did that expectation come from, and is it still serving you? Second, if you could wave a magic wand and remove all fear of failure, what is one thing you would try? What small step could you take this week to move in that direction? Third, what truly brings you joy and fulfillment, regardless of what anyone else thinks? How can you incorporate more of that into your daily life? Remember, you are more than just the smart kid. You are a complex, multifaceted individual with unique talents, passions, and potential. Don't let anyone, including your own brain, tell you otherwise. Thanks for tuning into Your Brain Lied. I hope this episode gave you something to think about. Until next time, take care of yourselves and remember to question everything. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.